Hey, good evening. Welcome to a new edition of, we call it News You Can Use. We talk about everything that's going on here in Fort Worth, Texas. And we got a very special guest. We got my main man, John Williams, with us. Good evening on this beautiful Tuesday night, man. What's going on?
Hey, another beautiful Tuesday night.
Yes.
Seeing.
Yeah, exactly.
Excited to be in the building, man.
Oh, yeah, me too, man. No doubt. For those who just now tuning into us right here on Channel 49 TV, we're talking to my main man, John Williams. Me and John is talking about a lot of hot topics. As you know, school will be started next week on August the 16th. And it's already not a mandate for you to wear your mask. And a lot of parents are concerned. Earlier today at 5:30, the Fort Worth Independent School District had a meeting, and a lot of parents was angry and upset because they want their kids, they want everybody to be wearing their masks. But the Fort Worth Independent School District are saying you don't have to wear your mask. I want to get your input on this, John. What are your thoughts on that? The fact that you don't have to wear your mask.
Well, you know, when you look at the pushback, and when you go and you look at different superintendents around the state, you go into Travis County, the superintendent in Austin, you know, they're backing the mandate, the mask mandate, in the city of Austin. they're backing the mask mandate, and not only will the students have to wear masks on buses and in the schools and stuff like that, but they're backing it. And then when you go here to I think Clay Jenkins here in Dallas was suing the governor over the mask mandate issue, saying that I believe they won't be doing it. No, I think so. You know, we got a lot of different issues and a lot of different fronts on it. And then there's another suit here in the state. I think here in Tarrant County, there's a suit with the mask mandate issue. And I think that was Whitley, Judge Whitley. That was in Dallas. That was one of the city councilmen suing the judge in Clay Jenkins, Judge Clay Jenkins in Dallas, because of the mask mandate on the city council board. So right. It's just going to be different. It's just going to be different issues. And with the school issue, you got Micah Delahosa in Dallas that issued the mask mandate. But then they're also doing virtual learning. But some places here in Arlington and here in Tarrant County, I don't think there'll be any virtual learning.
Well, right, and that's what a lot of the parents are concerned about. That I can't keep my daughter or son at home because there's no virtual learning. So now everybody's being forced to go back to school. So the problem is now with that many people going back to school, and the Delta variant is already out there, and you already got a lot of people out there who are saying, "Hey, I don't want to get the vaccine." So what do I do? I don't want to wear the mask. I don't want to get the vaccine. So my child is going to school, and he's got to go to school and take a chance of getting sick and bringing that mess home, and where the parents get sick. And if these parents get sick, how they gonna be able to work? They're not gonna be able to work because they're gonna be sick with the coronavirus. So it's a lot going on, and the Fort Worth Independent School District are not putting any mandate on them, cannot force the kids to wear the mask, even though the school can. But the school is saying if the state not doing it, if the county not doing it, we're not going to do it. That's pretty much what I'm getting out of it. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, and if you don't have the county judges, if you don't have those officials actually really keying in and weighing in on those issues, then those issues are null and void. And so what happens is they go into the sovereignty of the school district. But you know, if your arm is twisted because then you won't be able to get funding for certain things from the government. But then you have to look at also that the quorum. They can't finish this quorum until you have the rest of the government officials, politicians in the state of Texas come back from Washington.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have a lot of things on the table and a lot of issues on the table right here in the state of Texas, not just dealing with just the COVID, but with the mask mandate,
right.
which I know that's our main topic, but also with the voter suppression issue
right.
and with the quorum that they can't finish. So we have a lot of things on the table in the state of Texas. Texas have always been one of the places that when America's getting ready to do its new, when America's getting ready to do its new thing, the state of Texas have always been that state, and its cities have always been the cities, metropolitan areas, to step to the plate. The Dallas, the change of America with LBJ was the president coming here getting his head blown off.
For those who hold that thought, man. For those who just now tuning into us right here on Channel 49 TV, we talking to John Williams. He worked with me on the radio, and we also do a lot of different TV stuff together. And tonight we're just talking about this very important topic. As you guys were talking about it, one thing that we want to do here on Channel 49 is we want to be able to give you important information on what is happening. Every night I'll be doing interviews with different people in the community on what's going on. So tonight we're talking to John Williams, and we're talking about a hot topic that's going on right now. As you know, earlier today at 5:30, they had a school board meeting with the trustee where they was talking about the parents are concerned about them not being able to wear masks in the public school district. As you know, school will be starting back this coming up Monday, but next Monday on August the 16th. And there's still no mandate in place to focus on the importance of getting this mask on. A lot of parents out there are very concerned this morning. I got a press release early this morning talking about that, but shout out to United Folk Work, who are concerned about no mandates for them to wear masks. So a lot of parents went down at the school board meeting earlier tonight protesting about this. And we are live right now on Channel 49 TV for those who are tuning in to us. And John, who is one of my reporters, is with me right now, live by phone, talking to us about the importance of why we should wear a mask. Because again, we have, not only are we dealing with the coronavirus, but we're now dealing with the Delta variant. And so many people are still sick. The hospital is packed with people, and they're not accepting no more new patients. Man, what are your thoughts on that too, man? Let's talk about that.
Well, for me, it's. I look at it in a different aspect I look at it from law, but I look at it also from if you're breaking down a building or if there's demolition. So you start at the floor where main things are main control, which is transportation, right? The main thing that control, which is export and import, and then which is law, order, and then hospital and education. Those are the main things. And so when you break down people being able to go to the hospital in certain locations, like let's just take here in the state of Texas, let's just take Hunt County. People out of Commerce in Hunt County having to leave Commerce, how much? About 22,000, maybe 22,000 people plus the college. It may make it around about 50,000. Have to travel 20 minutes, 20, 30 minutes up to Greenville, and its facilities will be jam packed as well. So as you start breaking things down early in the year, now they're saying that the Delta variant they're going to reach the height of what we had in January of last year. And that's going to be before October of this year. So then now we're going to be looking at everything being broken back down in these facilities, and then you got people with cancer, you got people with other things, and they have other surgery. So what's going to happen with those, and how long are they going to be delayed? So this is just going to be, this is just going to continue to go on. And as we see more places being broke down, people in Hunt County are going to come over to Rockwall and spill over into Dallas and stuff like that. And it's just going to flood places.
Yeah,
you
yes,
know,
it is.
and that's a way of really breaking stuff down. But then using some type of variant of a disease or something like that to say that it's so out of control, we don't really know what to do. And that just created the chaos. I just see it in that aspect because it's just too many fronts and too many lawsuits now coming behind it. And behind Greg Abbott order banning the mask in the Texas schools.
I tell you what, man, you're right about that, and we're going to continue to talk about that. We're going to continue to keep you abreast on what's happening with that. Now let's move to the next topic, man. The Tatiana Jefferson case is still have not gone. You talk about this out the air last night. Me, you, and Nikki did. And it seemed like the family and the community wants to fight over getting a street renamed after her. Okay, you already got a street renamed after her, but now you want to you want to talk about the Tatiana I-35. Let's talk about that, man. Well, I mean, should they be focusing on trying to get justice for Tatiana Jefferson? Let's talk about that.
You know, justice now comes in many forms. You have to go back to the early civil rights movements, the very early, those before Martin King, those who. So if you don't know who those people are, if you don't know who the Wileys are, if you don't know who the Houstons are, if you don't know who those people were then, and before the mainstream media civil rights, if you don't know the name of those people, and if there's not a freeway named after them, if there's not a street named after them, if there's not buildings named after them, these great martyrs, these great intellectuals that came together to really bring a change for America's African-American people during the time that they were more oppressed.
Right.
If you don't know those names, then why would today, fast forward, passing the civil rights that we are more familiar with the Martin Kings and with the Medgar Evers and with the Malcolm X's and with the SNCC group and with the NAACP that we're more familiar with, if we don't know those 21st century people, how is it that we know people that they've just sacrificed, killed? That we don't know. And then how is it that they have become the civil rights symbol and you put their name up on some street? You put their name up on some freeway. You put it, so you just really plasterizing and you're really making fun of, and you're really making fun of the African American people because you're jabbing them because we don't know those people.
But you also, and I agree with you on that. But also we got to look at this. We are the one that's fighting for this. We as black community are the ones saying, "Hey, let's put a street name instead of giving this person justice." And I'm not trying to be funny. White people looking at it, okay, if that's what you want, we're going to give you a street name after you. Just shut up. And in the meantime, we got a judge here in Tarrant County who do not want this case to go on right now. So this judge is handling this case of Hodges, and the family is not getting the justice that they need. And it's hurting the family, but at the same time, when you got a person, I'm not going to say his name, but a person who's fighting for a street to be named, I can care less for a street to be named. If I ever get killed by police, y'all better not think about getting no street name after me. Y'all better focus on getting me justice. That's what I say. And so we have to focus on getting justice for Tatiana Jefferson. It should not be about naming a street. It should be about giving the justice that this woman deserves. This woman is underground. Give this family a sense of peace. Giving this family a sense of peace should be the number one thing. Of course, they'll never be able to have peace, but at least that they all know that this officer got the time that he got. Because right now, we got this police officer who is on the streets now while no justice is being served. In the meantime, you got a judge who is saying, "Hey, we're not going to do court. We're not going to do the trial until I say We're going to do the track. And it's not fair because at the end of the day, the family is the one that's suffering. While you got this person over here who's fighting for a street to be named, I want you to fight for me to get justice for the Tatiana Jefferson. And that's what we should be focusing on, is coming up with a way to get justice for the Tatiana Jefferson. Naming the street after her is not the justice.
Absolutely.
I mean, it just don't make any sense to me. I mean, you're not part of this family, but you want to fight for a street to be named. It don't make any sense to me. Focus on getting justice for Tatiana Jefferson. Once you get that justice, then you can think about getting a street name. The first thing that you ought to be pushing for is making sure that we get the justice that we need to get for Tatiana Jefferson. That's what we should be focusing on. It should not be about a street being named. That's the least thing on my mind. When we got a police officer, a Fort Worth police officer who's out here walking free, and nothing else has been done.
Absolutely. And the scary issue, the scary matter, how everything's been framed around it, And we get to, as African American people, we only work within that framework that somebody else has really offered us.
Yes.
We never stretch out beyond those quarters. We always really work within what another group of people give us, the dominant society. And so I thought that if they were going to do the library, if they were going to do the school after her, if they were going to do what she was
what she loved, what she loved, what she was into,
her passion, and then really teach the youth that and name that after her and let that be dedicated to her.
But I'm not trying to be funny.
And then the damage.
Hold that down. Hold that down. I'm not trying to be funny. Them white folks ain't gonna name no library after her. They'll name a street after her before they name a library. But they're not gonna name a library. Cause they really don't. They normally, when they name a library, it's normally gonna be after someone who's an educator. Now, if it was someone like Oprah Lee, they'll name a library after her. And they'll name a street after her. But we talking about right now, are we saying every time a black person get killed that we're gonna fight to name a street after her? I mean after that person? Again, that's the reason I say, if I ever get killed by a police, John, I don't want y'all fighting over me getting on the streets. I want justice. I want you to fight for me to get justice. Make sure that whoever this person wants that killed me, make sure that this person make sure this person is behind bars for the rest of their life. That's what I want.
Absolutely. And let's go back to 1969. Let's take a look at Minister Fred. And look how long it took for that conspiracy to come out, even though it was already spoken of what it was at the time. And then for them to turn around and get justice for that particular murder of Minister Fred Hampton. So then you just start looking at other issues that are like that, and you have to sit back and you have to ask yourself, do we continue to allow these issues to plague us, or do we really do something about them, for real? Do something about them. Besides the traditional stand-up march and hold sign, and we shall overcome, besides the traditional fashion of nonviolence. So then how do we equate other aspects to really get the desired outcome that we're really looking for, that we really seek? Because essentially, what are we really asking for? Are we asked to be integrated and continue to stay integrated, but not be but be socially outcast, or do we segregate ourselves and reintroduce ourselves to our new enterprise, a new African American, a nation within one,
right.
and then just don't accept any of the outside BS and fortify our own and secure our own and employ our own and employ our own intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Because whenever you if you fish in a boat, if you're not if you would against the piranhas and you don't have the teeth, so then you do things where they can't really get you.
Mm-hmm.
And you always watch their moves. And this is what fish do. They'll watch other fish that they can't deal with.
And you're right. And you're right. Then on top of that, white folks, I'm not racist, y'all, because I love everybody. But white folks is looking at it. Oh, that's all you want is a street name after you. Oh, we'll give you that just to shut your mouth up. There you go.
And that's it.
And so, let me ask you this, John, because you look at the news last night. I don't really look at a lot of news. I'm online a lot. And you say you heard them talking about the Tatiana Jefferson last night. What was they saying?
Yeah, well, they was talking about how that they were trying to get the street named.
I-35.
They were going to be, and then just basically showing, what took place and what led up to today's decision.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically all I'm saying.
But they didn't mention anything about a trial coming up. Did they say anything that they're working on a trial?
No, they didn't say anything. Whenever certain things they're gonna keep quiet. They just mentioned that, brought it up, as if it's moving along, as if something's happening about it, and let us mention that again, and then that's pretty much it. Be excited about that. Let us get back on to COVID. Let us get back on the mask mandate. Let us get back on to some sports. Let us get back on, by the way, the weather. Let us get back on let us get back on. Notice how, every year since 2008, the western cities, counties in California, Oregon, Utah, have been on fire for the last 22 years.
Right.
And you're going to eventually burn all that stuff out, and those people got to come in somewhere. They got to come in somewhere. I just see a massive flood in the major cities, and I just start seeing that as they break down certain governmental entities, as they constantly break them down and make it look as if they really have no control, or America's out of control, or they lost control, or people are just unruly.
Right.
Then there's going to be powers that's going to be lost. And those powers that's going to be lost, I believe, is going to get into where they're going to start shutting down government at certain times. I believe purge is going to start happening. I really see that. I really see that I really believe that
and if you know,
setting up
well, not only that, if you notice, every year they
call it that.
Yeah, and if you notice, every year also that they're talking about something different. If they're talking about this, they're talking about this, and it's just crazy. Also, man, let's get into another hot topic, because me and you, we both ride the bus. We both ride. You ride the city bus, and I ride the city bus. There's a major change going on with the public transportation. If you haven't heard the news, for those who tune in to us right here on Channel 49 TV, Fort Worth, is that now there's a major change coming up September the 8th. All the public transportation buses will be changing, except for 4 buses that won't be changing. The number 2 on the west side of Fort Worth will be taking over the 26th route. And the 26th route will no longer be. The 27th route will be also changing, and they will no longer have that. Man, what are your thoughts on all these different transportation? Because they're saying that on September the 8th, that a lot of people, it's going to be a headache. A lot of people are going to be frustrated, confused, because they're going to be thinking that they're catching these buses, and their buses no longer going to be in service. What do you think about that, man?
I think they better start getting on top of getting the bus schedules. Because public transportation is going to be very crucial and very vital.
Oh yeah,
here.
yes sir. Yes, sir.
And there's going to be a lot of faces that's going to be riding the public transportation. And they're gonna familiarize themselves with the new change. They're gonna be okay because they just now starting to ride it, so they're gonna actually just get in when it's changing, and so they'll be used to what the change is because they'll never known what it was the earlier part stages of it anyway.
Right.
It's just gonna be people like you and I and other people that's used to the public transportation.
Right.
And so we just have to get. So I'm gonna need to see a schedule and understand. And then are the times are gonna be the same? It's gonna still be.
Well, there, I will say, and I'm gonna try to get. What I'm gonna try to do is get an interview with someone from the public transportation to do a phone interview with us, so we can kind of talk about that, because I think that's important to get the word out. But also, man, the president Trinity Metro told me that he was that it's supposed to be a smooth transition, but we don't know that. The bus drivers are already saying that on September 8th it's going to be a lot of confused people, and the bus drivers are saying, "Hey, we're the one that got to deal with the public. They don't."
Absolutely. They're gonna get the backlash up.
Yeah.
Because they are at the forefront. And it's gonna be those that's like I said, who's not gonna be really looking for the okie doke, and they're gonna get on the bus and they're gonna think that it's a detour. And that's gonna be the way it's going. Period. Yeah. Because that's gonna be something. The 26 is gonna be the 2 now, and so that's gonna be a long.
And not only that, the 27 is gonna be the 32.
Yeah, and so they're gonna change it. I wonder if they're gonna put that route in it though, because that's the Como bus. So
yeah, they're gonna put from what I'm hearing, the 32 will be going through Como, except for the 27. The 27 will no longer be running. And also, they say there's a lot of changes going on in 25. The 25 won't be going to Miller Street no more. So, that's what I'm hearing. But right now, all the bus drivers say they still don't know what changes. All they know is that all the buses are going to be changing except for 4. We do know that the number 2 will no longer be going to Richmond Mall.
Oh, okay, then they're cutting that out. So the 91 will be there, the 32 then, because it would be, if it's taking off that Como, it should be, but it might not either. Because I know that's the power of pits.
From what I'm hearing, it's only going to be one bus that's going to that mall, and that's going to be the 91.
Oh, that's a shame. Because nobody.
Shout out to Miss Nicole Hemphill.